Little Grogu. Probably shouldn't say his name, but it's not a spoiler at this point. If you cared enough, you would have seen it by now. So. Okay, waiting for Raw. Blah, blah, blah.
Suck.
Dick. All right.
19 minutes. Let's go.
Your 19th minute. All right, episode 7. Here we go. All right. Was that loud?
Yeah.
We are back in action. We took a long break thanks to Juice because there were scheduling issues.
It wasn't just
He had to take care of this little fuck here, so.
It wasn't
Just kidding.
No, we're kidding.
We're
We're
kidding.
kidding.
Yeah.
God, this guy. All right.
Thank you for backing me up, man.
Nah, man. You know what? We're going to take a debate right now. Comment below. I'm just kidding. No. Anyways, welcome back our little mascot here who now has a name officially called...
Grogu.
And if you haven't seen it, Grogu. Yeah, if you cared enough, you would have seen it by now. So.
Spoilers, man.
Nah, we can. Yeah.
You should have seen it by now.
Yeah, it's just a name.
How
Yeah.
is the name? It's like
It's
saying
all
fucking-
over
It's not a
online.
spoiler.
It's like going to fucking.
Yeah, it's not a
high school and
spoiler.
Being like, I spoiled history class.
Yeah.
And I told people,
Spoilers?
hey, don't
Yeah.
get it.
This is Grogu, and he has the album in his hand, Leviathan album in his hand, because we're going to be talking about One Man Metal today,
Yeah,
which
we
is
are.
a documentary on Vice or released by Vice under Noisey. And Dilly it was her first time watching it, so I can't wait to see what you thought about it because it's pretty interesting. Those of you who haven't seen it, we'll put links in the description, like adding all the links. So what'd you think about it?
So, the first time I saw it, I was like, what the fuck?
Really?
Like, I was... they were just different people.
Right.
And it was just strange. Or like something that I didn't realize people were actually like that.
Right. Like Recluse?
Yeah,
Like,
and then including like very well-known black metal artists.
Yeah.
Like you would think that they would be like famous, living in a, I don't know, nice house and everything, but no.
No.
So now that surprised me.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, me too. And the musicians that they follow in this one, I should mention right off the top, is Jef Whitehead from Leviathan, of course, Scott Connor from Zaster, and Russel Menzies from Streborg. Two stateside bands, two American bands. And Streborg, Russell is based in Tasmania, which is a deserted ass island, right, Dilly, off of Australia?
Yeah, like
so
fucking...
isolated as hell. Like no one goes there.
Yeah.
So if anything, that's very fitting.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, dude, like there's no one around. Phew, man, I don't know.
Yeah, and it just, the whole, like I keep saying I respect black metal fans a lot. Because I feel like it takes a unique person to really get into black metal.
And understand it.
Yeah, like understanding it and really enjoying it. Like that takes a lot, I think. And it just, the way it came off was the music is all about being honest and like the raw feelings and emotions that they have and that they express it through music, and it's like, damn.
And these emotions are pretty dark.
Yeah, like it
touching
goes
on
to
suicide.
like an intense,
Nihilism.
crazy, yeah. And that's how I'm like, damn.
Anger. A lot of
Yeah.
anger in Leviathan music especially.
How did you get into black metal?
Well, I got to it in high school, but I didn't get into American black metal, I guess, or Leviathan, I guess, more in specific, until I was...
question on that. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I was 2013, I want to say, 2014. I actually bought his second album on CD. I went to LA. Actually, Juice went. We went to go see Iron Maiden and Megadeth. What year was that? 2013, no?
2013. Then we went to a black metal show.
Yeah, we went to Sadistic Intent. Yeah, that was a badass show. We saw Megadeth and Iron Maiden one day, and then the day after, Sadistic Intent was in town playing with Nausea also, with Oscar Garcia on vocals, which was fucking sick.
Forget about Repulsion.
Yeah, Repulsion too. Oh God, that was a killer show. Yeah, Repulsion played. I think they played all of Horrified. Yeah, all of it. God, that was great. That was a badass show. Anyway, I digress. We were speaking about yeah, Leviathan. I got into them when we went to that trip. I got his second album on CD. We went to Amoeba Music, and I'd seen the name and I'd heard his name everywhere and about the music. So I bought his album, and at first it kind of caught me off guard. I was like, okay, this is cool, but his music is very like complex. It's not your average black metal. It's very kind of complicated, but once you understand it, it's super easy to get into. But yeah, at first I was like, ooh, what is this? So Leviathan was the first one I ever got into.
How is it complicated?
It's like very complex instrumentation. Like it's not really just riff and just da da. It's that ambience, melody mixed with darkness and grim and dissonant vocals, growls.
So
It's not average, you know?
my question is, what's the difference between American black metal and European?
The sound and the riffing and the attitude's totally different. And
Like how, what way with the attitude?
well, it's different cultures. Like over there, they rely more on, let's say, maybe the cold and stuff, and how that's grim and more evil, satanic stuff. Whereas here, it's sure it's satanic too, but it's just different realms of sound.
I would also argue that
Yeah.
European black metal has some like more of a power release.
Whereas here, it's more emotional.
Yeah, like it's more
Mhm.
aggressive.
Yeah.
Like
Well, most of it. We'll see,
it's more
because
internal, but over there it's external.
that's true, and it's also not true. Because if you see like black metal, like Profanatica, which is also one of the earliest black metal bands that came out, or Vaughn, they're very raw and brutal and simplistic, just barbaric. Whereas the Eastern European black metal bands or whatever, they were barbaric in their own way, but they didn't sound like that. They sounded more necro, whereas here they sounded more like bashing on the instruments and just blah, growling like that. It's different
Yeah.
sounds, different realms of sound.
And what do you prefer? Like, what do you prefer?
Well, there's no preference, but I got into, I guess, the European side of black metal, so I guess that's always what I, go back to because I started with that.
Okay,
But Leviathan, for sure. I mean, American black metal is great, but Leviathan itself is one of my favorite bands ever. So
Okay.
he holds Jeff because he's this one man band.
True.
Yeah, high standard of black metal, gold standard, for sure.
True.
American black metal. Yeah. It's awesome. What can I say, people? Oh yeah, we have the albums played out here, so
Yeah.
hopefully you can see them.
So the dude that lives in Tasmania,
Russell Menzies.
Russell, yeah.
Sid Nana, I guess.
it's just crazy to me how a person is willing to like isolate themselves at that level,
Yeah.
like on a fucking reclusive island.
And also,
To me, that's crazy.
and he's married and has a kid too. At the time, at least he was.
Yeah.
Isn't that insane?
Like, do you think he would have done it if he didn't have a wife and kid? Like, if he was totally by himself?
If he would have done that?
Yeah. If
Well,
he still
yeah, because
would've
I mean,
got
he did it
into
with a wife and
isolation.
kid. Yeah, I mean, I love living alone, dude. That's the part I
Like
can relate
all,
to. Them.
like without us or anyone.
No, I'd have to socialize a little bit.
Okay, so
I
you
couldn't
do.
go that deep, but I mean, I'd be
Because
comfortable with it, probably.
he doesn't he go that deep? Like he
Yeah, because
doesn't.
it's super remote over there. From like the shots they show and the way they describe it, it seems like everything's just super far away from everything else. It's like super remote.
Yeah, it's like you wonder if he has friends or not.
I wonder, because it does seem like he does kind of like socialize with the people in town, but it doesn't seem like he does it often.
Yeah.
Especially the way he describes how he's just like his loneliness kind of leads to depression sometimes because it's so lonely over there.
Oh
I'm
my
just like,
God.
man.
But like, you think he gets depressed because he kind of wants it? Or
Well, no, I think it just comes with being that alone. Because even he said that being alone for that long just drives you crazy.
Fuck,
Yeah,
I
so,
couldn't do that,
yeah.
dude.
And you know what's also funny? Like eventually in the documentary, he mentions how he's been sober for years, and I'm like, are you sure about that? Because you
He's
seem
like
pretty.
sweating and
Yeah, he looks
shit.
pretty like not sober. That's you
Like,
know. He's like, yeah, I
yeah,
used to do smoke weed and do LSD like almost every other day. It's like, oh shit. Are you sure you're still
yeah.
not on LSD right now?
I know, and he's sweating and
Well, I think Tasmania is I think Australia is like hot, no? Like it's a
yeah,
hot
true.
place.
Maybe he,
Because even when he's rubbing on his makeup, like later on, like he
yeah.
looks like
Oh, me
he's
da
sweating. Yeah,
cosa.
yeah. I feel bad for the dude. But all right, go for it, Dilly. Guide us. What's.
So it says, I don't think we can. So the idea of loneliness and isolation, and he said that I don't think we can do that because of the constant need of connection with people and strangers, especially on social media. If we are isolated, can we deal with ourselves? Fuck. To me, that was like, damn, like that's so true. Like the way we have to connect with people in social media.
Like some people have to, huh?
Like it's addicting.
Oh, yeah. It's a problem.
It
It's a big problem
is.
nowadays.
It is, and that's why. Imagine not having that, like nothing.
Well, that's why these guys stand out because they don't seem like they need it at all.
And to me, that's crazy.
Why is that?
I guess because I've been raised with.
Right. Oh, yeah.
It's just. I just can't picture myself doing that.
Yeah.
It'd be so hard.
Well, I think that's what adds to their music because they're not your average
Yeah,
Joe.
they're like way different,
Yeah.
and their mentality's way different.
Yeah. Well, I think Scott, he for sure, I think, suffers from social anxiety a little bit
Oh,
because he
that,
seems
yeah.
uncomfortable the entire time. Which I don't blame him because, according to the guy, I think his name's J.R. Robinson, the guy who ran this, he said that he'd never done anything like that, like talk on camera, do interviews, nothing. So I guess it's understandable. And also, like, when someone's in your house and you kind of have to, like, act differently. So it's a little awkward, but
Yeah.
I get it. But yeah, he for
No.
sure looks uncomfortable the entire time.
And
But,
then,
you know.
like, how he doesn't give a shit of who listens to his music or not. Like, he just doesn't fucking care.
And that's cool. That's actually admirable because he's just doing it to do it.
Yeah,
Because he
but
wants
it's
to
like
do it.
he just doesn't care in general about anything.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he says he just doesn't, he thinks everyone's just a piece of shit, basically.
Yeah.
Because he says he just doesn't, he thinks everyone's just, most people, he says. And that's why he doesn't wear band shirts, he says, because he says, I don't want to talk about Dark Throne with some random dude in the grocery store.
Yeah.
Like, he just doesn't want to interact with fucking anybody. He's
That's
just
crazy.
like, yeah.
Yeah, and then how in his music he tells people to look into dying and killing themselves.
Yeah, he's like, I don't want to do it, but maybe you should look into that. Like, you should kill yourself.
That's fucking crazy.
How'd you react? Like, what went through your mind when you heard that?
He's crazy.
What? Really? Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Like, what kind of person does that?
Yeah. It's very dark music. For
And that's
sure.
why, like, it's crazy.
But
What do
it's
you
good.
think on that?
I mean, I agree. If you want to be stupid enough and look at a lyric sheet and say, oh, yeah, I should do that, you should just listen
So
to
you
music for what it
shouldn't,
is.
yeah, you shouldn't take it literally.
No, I mean, I hope you wouldn't, but that's the problem with music. You take it as you want. And there's a wrong way for me to do it because I wouldn't
So
do that.
do you
but
think there are people that take the
yeah.
lyrics literally?
Yeah, for sure. Hell yeah. Maybe to a certain extent. Yeah.
And do you think it's like a lot of people are not really?
No, just a few, that just take it way seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like that's why what is it, the Tipper Gore thing? That's why the PMRC. It's just metal lyrics, but they just
Yeah.
felt the need to put the parental advisory because oh, these lyrics
Yeah.
might be harmful to your kids, even though it's just music. And there
That's
was songs about
true.
worse topics than that before, but
True.
yeah, just because it's abrasive, it's like, oh, it's offensive, it's scary.
And then it makes you think, like, how did they end up having the mentality that they have now?
Yeah.
So, for example, it goes into Jeff and
Yeah.
his childhood.
Right.
And it's like that explains a lot.
Yeah.
The shit he went through.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
It talks about, from what I understand, he talks about dropping out of high school when he was in 10th grade because he was a pain in the ass, quote unquote. He says he was just like, rebellious youth, going from house to house. He was homeless for a while.
Yeah, that he had like stepdad issues.
Yeah, stepdad issues with his mom, so went to live with his dad, and then that didn't work out, so he just became a ward of the court, meaning that his parents didn't want to own him anymore. Like, he just
he
lived off the
belonged
state.
the state.
Yeah, and he talked about
foster
how,
homes.
yeah, in some foster homes, some dudes who would just watch over them were just San Quentin, like ex-prisoners. So, and they taught him how to roll a joint, like smoke cigarettes, porno mags. And the guy shakes his head, the guy who's interviewing him, like J.R. Robinson, he's like, man, that's tough. But he's like, oh, well, yeah, I mean, at least I learned how to roll a joint. So he's
Damn, yeah,
just
dude.
like, yeah, but he had a rough childhood. But hey, man, I think that made him so resilient, like super resilient. Because he made it on top. He's on top.
Yeah, and then he went to be. I didn't know he was a skateboarder and how
He
they used
was.
that logo he made.
The logo he made for a company, and he was also on Skate or Die too.
And I've
in
seen
Nintendo.
that logo,
Yeah.
and that's how I'm like, oh my god, I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
What's fucked up is they don't pay him for that
Yeah.
anymore. They just paid him $50, I think he said at the time, and I forgot what it's called. Machine Trucks, I think. I don't know, but it's a logo of it's like a heart-shaped grenade kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he designed it, and the company apparently just paid him $50 once and just never contacted him again. So that was pretty fucked up. And he was also, like I said, in Skate or Die, the cover. Skate or Die 2, I think, in Nintendo, because he was a pro skater back in the day. I think he was a pro skater. But he was a very popular skater, and I think that's how he got, a following. So, yeah, he had a life.
And that's why it's like, it makes sense of why he would not like to be around people.
Why do you think so?
Because, like, when people have rough childhoods, it shows, like, trauma, like, later.
Oh.
So we all, like, carry those traumas with us, and that's why we act certain ways because of what happened. Because whatever happens in our childhood, it shapes who we are.
Right.
And sometimes we can't help it, but...
And I guess he grew up not trusting people, I guess,
Yeah,
so
like,
easily.
yeah. And he was always, he had him, like, it was just him.
Yeah, he was always on the run, so to speak.
Yeah, on
just
his
never
own.
on his own. Yeah.
Completely on his own.
And he had to just find a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it makes
He
sense.
does. And I think that's why it adds to the anger element in his music. Because it's very aggressive sounding and angry, I tell you. Like,
He
it's
seems grumpy.
angry. Yeah.
Just kidding. Angry.
Yeah, no, and I think that's a big part of it. Like how he came up.
Yeah.
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 Shows aggression. And also for his other music, like this album here, Lurker of Chalice, that's his other project. And apparently there was a muse, or his ex-girlfriend was, I guess, the inspiration for that album.
Oh, yeah.
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 I mentioned that.
And so maybe that had something to do with how fucking amazing that album is, because goddamn.
It brought out, I
That's
need
a
to
different
listen
level.
to it.
Hmm?
I need to listen
You do.
to it.
It's great. But anyway, yeah, we'll
Yeah,
talk about that. We'll
so-
get to that.
Then it goes back to Russell.
Oh,
Which
yeah.
I don't know why. He's just a funny dude.
He is a funny dude.
But it says how he went solo because, like, him and, like, the band members, he was getting pissed off because they were all into different genres.
Yeah, he wanted to play fast.
Yeah, like he's like, the only way I was gonna make the music I wanted is if I just do it,
Yeah.
because they don't understand what I'm trying to do. So yeah, and then he said that his earlier recordings were a lot faster.
Yeah.
And then he was on drugs then.
Yeah, smoking weed every day in the LSD part. Yeah.
Yeah, and then later on, yeah, the substances were clouding his vision.
That's why he went sober.
Yeah. I know. And then he made more depressive music. And yeah, that he thinks he's just a normal human being because he's a father and a husband. And he cuts problems out of his life, and that's why he became reclusive.
Yeah. He just got tired of everyone's shit. That's
Which,
interesting.
I mean, as you get older,
It's understandable.
yeah.
Oh, you pick and choose. Right here? Yep. Yeah, it's very relatable to me now because back in the day, sure, when I saw this documentary, it was like fresh, maybe like 2 years in, 2014. And yeah, I used to say, like, yeah, I don't know, like, I like to socialize, you know, have friends, blah, blah, blah. And now I'm just like, yeah, I'd be down for that shit any day. Just leave me alone.
Dude,
Like,
yeah,
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
okay, like, I just, as I'm getting older,
Yeah.
I don't like talking to strangers.
As much, right?
Yeah, like, I'll be friendly,
Right.
but I just don't have time for that shit anymore. Like, I'd rather be.
It can only go so far, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, because I feel like once you're content with what you have, you don't feel the need to deal with
anything else.
anyone. Yeah. And that's why when I see people that are super social and always hanging out with people and knowing all these people, I'm like, oh,
Well, it's because
Don't
it's
you
not
get
your
tired?
thing. Yeah, right. Maybe they do. They just don't know how to stop it.
or like people can be fake too.
Well, yeah, but that comes with everything.
Yeah, and that's why it's just.
And I think that's why these guys for sure are tired of that shit.
Yeah, like they're tired of just fucking shitty people and who blames them. Like,
Yeah,
and that's
right?
why I feel
Yeah.
like I could completely relate. Like, not to that extreme.
No,
you know?
no.
Because I like to hang out with you guys, like
Yeah.
my close friends, and seeing my family members, and that's it.
But you know, I think they're the same way. I think they do have their close circle of friends. But
Okay,
it's
because
like
it made it
super-
seem like they didn't
no,
talk to
no, because
anyone.
I mean, Jef Whitehead's a tattoo artist, so for sure
He
they're tight knit.
covered
Their
it, yeah.
tattoo artists are always tight knit, from what I've seen and what I've gathered. And the one I don't see having many close friends like whatsoever is Scott.
Dude.
Yeah, I think he may be like one or two, but even then he doesn't really like converse with him often. But I can see Jeff having like a close knit, like group of friends,
True.
especially now because he's active on social media now and stuff.
Oh, true.
And he has a wife and kid now, so he's pretty happy.
So has he like changed?
Yeah, I mean, change. I mean, it's a relative
Because
term,
it made
but
it seem like he didn't like to be on social media or anything.
yeah, no, well, yeah, he definitely changed. I think, and I think he just got a new outlook on life. I guess, yeah, because he has a wife and daughter now, and he's happy. It seems like, and he's releasing fucking amazing music. Like he released Scar-Sighted. Maybe he found another muse. Yeah, maybe this life is his muse now, and that's why the
cool.
album was so great.
Good for him.
Yeah, because they did an article about him. He was on the front cover of, I want to say, Decibel magazine. I should have brought that along. And it was like a 2-page long interview. Yeah, talking about his life now. And it's him with his like daughter. Like she was like a baby. So yeah, it's a pretty cool cover. Because you see like the humanity part of Jef
Like
Whitehead.
he is.
Yeah.
He has feelings.
Of course, yeah. And I of course everyone has feelings, but it's understandable how, sometimes you're just not that person. You can't be that person all the time.
Yeah, like.
Like it's hard to be happy and just all the time,
Yeah, like if
Yeah,
I
happy-go-lucky.
I would only live on an isolated island if I could take you guys. Like if we all
Right.
like lived in different parts
Yeah,
of the
that'd
island.
be cool. Yeah.
And we brought like the people we love and we're closest to.
Right.
That'd be perfect.
That'd be cool.
And then we'd be the only ones on that island.
Yeah. Well, I think I read somewhere that it's very hard to make friends like past a certain age. Like I think it was like 25, 26.
Oh, true.
Like if you don't have a set group of friends, then you're just like, you just go through people. But it's just the way of life because people come and go.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, I'm lucky because I feel like I'm stuck with you guys.
Yeah, unfortunately.
For the rest of our lives. We're going to be old as fuck.
Right? Oh, man.
We're going to be laughing at this shit. We're going to be like, look at us.
Look at us bastards here,
From
just still
30
hanging
years
out.
ago.
Oh my God, we're actually almost 30. Oh my God, that's crazy.
God.
Jesus. But actually, back to Jef Whitehead and being a tattoo artist, it's in my bucket list. On my bucket list, I mean, to get tattooed by him for sure.
Damn.
Yeah, that'd be a dream
That'd
come
be
true.
sick.
That'd be sick. So hopefully one day.
True.
I don't even know where he's based out of now, but I'll make the trip wherever he is. But yeah,
True.
Jeff Whitehead's the shit.
Oh, so back to the Scott dude.
Yeah. Let's talk about good old Scott.
Oh, man. It's just when he said like he doesn't hold on to jobs and like he's unemployed.
Oh, yeah. He stopped the interview.
Yeah.
Awkwardly, too.
And it's just like, qué vergüenza.
I think, no, it's because, dude, that's just something he doesn't want to talk about.
Like, I could hear my mom saying, like, qué huevón, no trabaja.
I don't think it's that, dude. I think it's just that he...
I know, but my mom always says she always, it's because she raised us saying, like, if you don't have a job, you're a loser.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Like,
Well,
I
that's
could
the
just
old
hear my
Mexican
mom.
mom mentality. Yeah,
Yeah, that's the
for
Mexican
sure.
mom mentality.
Yeah, definitely.
Because,
Yes.
like, when I heard that and I saw that, I just heard my mom's voice.
My grandpa would probably talk shit about him too. Yeah, that's pretty much, he'd be like, pues que trabaje.
Yeah, and then,
He's
you know
like,
what
you
my
get to
mom
work,
says?
don't be distracted. Yeah.
One time I told my mom, I'm like, Mom, I think I'm depressed. She's like, you know why you're depressed? I'm like, why? I'm like, and she said, because you don't do anything and you have a bunch of time on your hands. Ándale, get busy. And she's like, when you're busy, you don't have time to be sad.
Jesus Christ.
And it's true though.
It's very true.
Because they tell you, like, if you're depressed, to like keep yourself busy doing activities and shit.
Yeah. Even though sometimes, like, if it's clinical depression, it's not that easy. But yeah, if you're just down on the dumps, a walk in the park will do you wonders.
Yeah.
Like, if you get out
Or
and literally just
sunlight.
walk outside.
Sunlight, yeah.
Yeah. You'll feel better. Guaranteed.
Yeah, like that's
Just any form of exercise, of movement, just get your muscles going, your blood rushing, you'll feel fine.
Yeah, that's why, like, my mom thinks that people that say that they're depressed, it's an excuse.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, Mom.
Yeah.
Some
see,
people are depressed.
Exactly. Oh, yeah. for
But I
sure.
guess, like, the old school train of, well, because they didn't have therapy and mental health in my parents' generation or our parents. Our
Degenerates,
parents-
they're degenerates?
No, our parents' generation, they didn't believe in that shit. Especially the Mexican culture.
Definitely. No,
So,
that was
like,
not a thing.
Yeah,
whatsoever.
like, to them, it's like, the fuck is
Get to work.
that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Or, like, to them, it's normal. They're like, oh, well, then I've been depressed my whole life. But,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
That does
to
not
me-
fly in a Mexican household.
Yeah, so I don't know. Like, what did you think when he said he was that part where he was
Or you cut it. I just think he just has not had good experiences
Man,
working with.
poor guy.
Yeah, because I just think he's very, I tell you, like, socially
Like,
anxious.
he just doesn't
and
like people.
I think he's just a misanthrope, natural misanthrope.
What are good jobs for people?
Maybe call centers, or maybe now working from home. That'd be wondrous.
Tech?
Yeah, for like introverts.
No, but
yeah,
like not
sure.
even talking to people or anyone.
Oh.
I feel like technicians or some shit.
Or you know what? Maybe just, I don't know how much talking's involved, but maybe like sorting packages, like maybe in the post
true.
office. You don't talk to anyone there, right?
Security guard, yeah.
Or security guards, that's right. Like overnight security guard shift.
No, because then you have to deal with whoever breaks in.
If they break in.
Yeah, but like when they
Which
do.
I don't think it's often,
I worked
depending.
at Circle K overnight and I didn't get bothered.
Yeah, see there. Yeah, I don't think generally an overnight shift it's chill, but you know.
But you never know. Like, I don't know.
No, but I'm saying generally he wouldn't have to talk to people.
Yeah,
on
I
the
know.
reg,
I know. But
guess.
if I truly hated people, I wouldn't do that job.
But don't you think maybe sorting packages in the middle would be? I mean, you're not talking to anybody.
That's true. And
But I guess I don't know.
or the
know.
people that throw the luggages.
That's the only thing that what?
The people that throw the luggages into the airplane. 'cause
Oh,
they're always
that's right.
wearing that shit.
Earphones and shit. Yeah, well, headphones, whatever the fuck that is.
Earplugs.
Earplugs.
Plumbers. Oh no. But
No, you have to talk to the
Strippers.
I think.
garbage.
Strippers, is that what you said?
Garbage disposal.
Yeah, that's
people.
right. Yeah, garbage guys. Yeah, pick up the garbage and stuff. Just drive the truck around and yeah, there you go. Truck driver, but I don't know if. I mean, just driving by yourself, statewide.
That's true. So hey, Scott, these are
Yeah, some
recommendations.
options, but I think he's happy doing his thing. I mean, I think Zaster's still going strong.
That's-
That'd be crazy. Imagine if we just see him like applying for Amazon and stuff. Like,
Yeah, then he comments.
he sees this, like,
Fuck
twice
you
on, yeah,
guys.
like, fuck you guys.
No, but he hates people, so why would he be watching?
No,
people?
he's not watching this. No, I don't think this is this thing. He doesn't even like metal in general. He says he gathered more inspiration from Sia and Kansas
Yeah.
more than black metal,
Yeah, and
which is insane.
and that he's never performed live.
I think he has since then. He had I don't know, it was like an acoustic project, like it was disaster songs and something like that along those lines. So I think he has played shows since then,
Oh, okay.
but for sure the other two haven't, as far as I know.
Okay. Yeah, and then it continues. Well, he says that he doesn't like working with people. He doesn't like people because he thinks human beings are arrogant. And he wants to he wants to knock them off their high horse and that
Any chance he can get.
Yeah, and that there's no value like at all.
And the crazy part he said too, I think he mentioned that he's also thought that people who are like pieces of shit, like he judged them, they're actually pretty cool people. And then he's like, and I actually like that. So he likes that. He thinks
Oh, he
everyone's a
likes
piece
to
of
be
shit.
proven wrong.
Yeah. So see, he still gives people a chance, it sounds like, but not many.
That guy's, yeah.
Yeah, he's just like
intense.
super reclusive. Yeah.
And it's funny because then when a cat comes in, he's all nice.
Yeah, that's
Isn't
the
it crazy
only time.
what pets do?
Yeah, that's the only time he smiles the entire time.
Yeah, that's
The
how it was
only
like.
time.
Isn't it crazy what pets do to us?
And his eyes got bright. He smiled wide. He's like, oh look, like he's just like the humanity in him came out for a little bit, and then back to just, yeah, it's crazy though, how that just provides so much relief.
Yeah,
It's insane.
that's how I was like, huh? He is like he does feel.
Yeah, no, they all do, but it's just not, I guess, in a conventional way. Yeah.
So then it goes into part 3,
Yes.
and Russell's putting on his makeup.
Yeah.
That's how like he was like
Yeah.
pretty
Dude,
sweaty.
I'm
Oily.
surprised it stayed on.
I know,
Because
like
he
it
was
was so
dripping sweat.
yeah,
I was like,
oily.
oof, I feel bad for the guy. Yeah.
I'd be like, use some like mattifying powder.
What the fuck? I don't even know what that is.
Makeup, no, you mattify your
Mattifying?
face where it's
Oh,
less
like dry it
shiny.
out? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like the matte material?
Yeah, and it's powder.
Oh, okay.
I would put some on him. But, okay.
This is the makeup minute. We're doing.
makeup tutorial
Yeah,
of black
right.
metal.
The black metal makeup minute with Dilly. Satanic Disc.
We should do that.
That'd be hilarious, dude.
I do makeup on one of you
Juice.
guys. Yeah, Juice.
We'd make Juice all black metal, different designs, or just the Abbat one.
And then
or...
this going down, like to look all sad.
That'd be fucking. No, man, that'd be great.
That'd be
But,
hilarious.
that'd be funny.
Yeah, and then he says that this kind of music and belief system has little to do with being a human being or showing yourself as a human being. He says that we are all alone and we die alone.
Yeah.
And
Oh wait, let me stop you real quick right there. He also mentions he's like, even if you have your soulmate, you can still feel alone. But I think he threw that in just in case his wife is watching.
Yeah,
He's like,
that's
oh,
what I
but
was
I still
like,
love you,
yeah,
honey. But
yeah.
I'm alone.
I know, and that's how you're
Yeah.
with him. You're just like,
No, see, I love Russell. He's cool. I never got into streetboarding. I should say that off the top. But he's a cool guy. But he's the one where I'm just like, okay, bro, tone it down a little bit. Just tone it down. But I get it.
yeah. And he
that's
says
funny.
that music takes away the human factor, therefore making it mysterious and mythical.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree with that
Yeah.
too.
Because I feel like the corpse paint, I think, does look badass. Like, if you see pictures of dead Euronymous, like Fenris back in the day with corpse paint,
Yeah.
even some of Jef Whitehead's shit looks badass. So it does add an element to the corpse, or I guess the necro dead kind of whole message with the black
Yeah.
metal thing.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, like Jef Whitehead says, sure, it could be goofy a little bit, like maybe what Russell does, but it still adds an element to it, a certain
Yeah,
element,
and
which is cool.
that's what Scott said, is that he stopped wearing makeup and having long hair because he thought it was kind of juvenile.
Yeah.
And he thinks it's like weird how old people still dress. Like, as you get older, why would you still dress like that?
Right.
What do you think?
Well, see, this is what I think. Stage presence is one thing. So I get it. Like, if someone's up in their 50s and they're in a black metal band and they still want to wear corpse paint, oh, more power to them. But as long as they're not walking around their neighborhood, with corpse paint, then it'd be a little weird. But yeah, that's stage presence. So I don't mind either way.
You don't mind?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. But I can get where he's coming from, where he just felt like it wasn't his thing anymore.
If you were a black metal artist, would you continue to wear it?
No. I don't think so. Okay. Maybe you do the fucking, what do they call the Slayer thing? They have I forgot what they call it. They have a name for it, the blacked out eyeshadow and shit. Uh-huh. Maybe that, but I wouldn't do the whole deal.
Oh, okay.
Like, I would just black out my eyes, but nah. But because I just don't, it'd be too much work.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
True. Yeah, and then it goes into what you said earlier about Jef, how, well, he said at the time he doesn't go out and doesn't even go to shows because he can't stand being around people.
Yeah, he can't stand it.
And then I put 2001 Lurker.
Lurker of Chalice, yeah, which is that album right there, yeah.
And that he showed his anger, like all the anger and hatred in Leviathan. And Lurker was different type. Oh, but she's dead. So he was saying that
at the time when she was alive, this was, I guess, inspired by all of that.
Coming back. Like, he says he's not gonna.
And that's what he says,
back.
that it's a difference between that he's not always, whereas Leviathan is always, quote, he says, "Dah," like just fast and aggressive. Lurker was still intense, but it had a more mellow vibe to it.
Did you like which one do you prefer?
I love Lurker of Chalice. I think that may be one of my top Jef Whitehead recordings, maybe like top 3.
Really?
But Leviathan for sure is my number 1, I guess, as far as that goes.
Yeah.
And also, there's another Leviathan album, I should just mention this for you guys that don't know, called Massive Conspiracy Against Life, which was originally supposed to be the second Lurker of Chalice release. And there's a song there that's titled 6/11/6, which is the date she committed suicide. Mm-hmm. And I think that's why it sounds so goddamn dark, that album.
Like
because he was super sad.
Like how she had brain cancer.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
That's awful. And I think he definitely loved her a lot, because when he's going through the albums, he kept notes, pictures, letters.
Yeah, and then he tried to kill himself too afterwards.
Isn't that fucked up?
That's fucking crazy.
I'm glad he didn't succeed, because we wouldn't have all this other music he made after that.
And then he said that he swore never to record again, but he did.
Yeah, then later, a few years later, I think maybe the year after, he released True Traitor, True Whore, which is one of his other full lengths. Fucking angry ass music, and also very ambient. Damn. But a lot of people didn't like that album when it first came out, but I think it aged well, like fine wine. I always liked it, but it's not one of the most popular ones, or at least back in the day. Now I think it's different, but goddamn, is that album intense. Yeah, it's
I gotta
fucking
listen
good.
to it.
Yeah.
Juice, heat up the ramen.
Oh yeah, heat up the ramen.
It's almost time. So then it goes back to Russell, like at the end.
Yes.
And he's in the cave.
He is in a cave, people.
Because he's connecting to nature.
Yeah. So, okay, wait. Before we get to that part we're getting to, I do understand that whole nature connection. But this dude is really into that whole nature connection. Because when it is cold and, like, there's snow around and stuff, when I do listen to, like, Dark Throne or Immortal especially, like, I do feel like, oh, yeah, it's cold. But this guy, like, really goes into it. It's like, damn, bro.
I know.
Yeah. And then, okay, yeah, keep going.
No, yeah, so there was that... There's that scene in the cave that I couldn't help but laugh. Because it's just so random.
It's very random.
Like, he goes in there and then...
Does a shriek.
Yeah.
I guess, so to speak.
The cameraman's like, bro, Eric said he's probably thinking like, fuck, I don't get paid enough for this shit to hear this shit. But yeah, like it was just like, okay,
That part was a little goofy.
all right.
I'm not gonna lie.
Thanks
Yeah, it was a little
for the
goofy.
shot.
Yeah, it was. I mean, yeah, it was a memorable shot. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I would bust out laughing in
Yeah,
that
I mean,
cave.
that's seriously a very goofy shot. Like I always thought, even when I first saw it, I guess maybe because I'm not so biased towards streetboard, but I'm just like, dude, that was
Yeah.
yeah, that was a little funny.
Yeah, and then it
But-
goes into the last part towards the end about Scott, like how he's almost crying because of, what was it?
His telepathic with the Deceased album, where he's talking about how when he kind of walks away from the interview,
Yeah,
right, and then
yeah,
comes
like
back.
he gets tear, like
Yeah,
it's
'cause,
like,
well-
because like it was that scene where like I just heard Spinal's voice like quiere llorar, like he's gonna cry.
Right. Yeah, because I think the guy who was running the interview, Jared Robinson, he was talking about how he was listening to that album that I'm talking about. That it's very, like he was listening to it when he was not going through a great
Yeah,
time.
it was a bad time.
It was a bad time, and
Yes.
apparently that's what Scott. Yeah, like it was a bad time in his life too, as well. So he's like, yeah, it was a very dark time in my life, and I think that's why it's just. And he doesn't answer the question really. He's just like, yeah, it was just a dark time.
Yeah, and I was like, he wants to cry. He's gonna cry.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. Yeah, but I mean, I feel for the dude because I mean, it's not easy, I guess.
True.
Maybe for him.
So overall,
Yeah,
how do you feel about that documentary?
it's awesome. I
Like,
always
do
go back and watch
you-
it.
Do you feel like you could relate to them?
I feel like there was a period in my life where it was super relatable because I did go through some very dark, tough times where their music really did speak volumes to me, I guess, at the time. And I was reclusive. Like I didn't want to contact anybody at all. I didn't want to see anybody, do anything. Just wanted to stick. Yeah, I just wanted to stick to myself and just do my own thing.
You were. I feel you had dark vibes.
Yeah, and honestly,
Very
I got
dark
into the
vibes.
music before that, but
No, yeah, but I feel like at that time you were really listening
yeah,
to them,
yeah,
and you just had
Like,
that
religiously,
dark.
yeah.
Yeah, because I remember that's all you would play.
and it's
And then it's funny because then when you kind of started getting out of that hole,
yeah,
you started listening to. That's why I was shocked, like Post Malone.
yeah,
and all
because
that.
I always listen to that stuff. Like I always listen to like hip hop and R&B and stuff like that.
But I feel like when you were in that,
Yeah, there was
Stage
a
in
time
your
where I
life,
just
you
did
were
not even.
just
Yeah, there was
that.
no light at all, and I didn't want to welcome any of it in it, like any of it into it at the time.
yeah, I remember.
Yeah. So, yeah, because it was just shit every day. It was just hell every day. So I think the music itself was very fitting to my situation at the time.
Yeah.
And a lot of it was relatable. So it's like shit.
No,
The anger part of it.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
after I saw it, I'm like, okay, I need to like think about it. I need to
Process it.
go through it again. Yeah. And yeah, like after thinking.
Also, you
about
watched it again?
No.
Oh, okay,
like
okay,
I
okay.
thought about it.
Gotcha.
And yeah, I started to relate more.
To them.
Yeah. Cause like I said earlier, as you're getting older, you just like people are so shitty.
Well, I tell you, you have less time for that.
Yeah, like you have less patience.
Less patience. Yeah.
And
Yeah. And you know, like in your journeys in life, you know who to fuck with and who not to fuck with, you know, the older you get.
yeah.
Not that you pick and choose, but yeah, you're nice, you're polite, but
And then it just takes a lot to get to know a person.
sometimes, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And you're just
definitely.
like, I don't.
Yeah. Like for me, I'm very friendly for sure, but I'm not necessarily like looking to be good friends with somebody every time. Like if they're cool and stuff, yeah, I'll socialize, I'll converse, but I don't look to just call them next thing like, hey, you want to hang out, grab a beer? No, it's just my close group of friends, and if they're there, cool, let's hang out. But I don't look for that.
And
necessarily.
isn't it crazy how we were so different?
Well, yeah, because we were in our early 20s
Yeah,
and just
like,
partying. And
I feel like with me, what made me social was the drinking. That's for sure. The
yeah, because
alcohol.
I think that's what it does to everybody for sure.
Yeah.
Even me.
Yeah, even you. You're like, hey,
when I drink,
you become more social.
very social,
Yes.
and I've been known to even dance sometimes, which I hate dancing.
And then you start like putting your arms around people and
Yeah,
shit.
and literally when I'm
Yeah.
drunk or hammered, like anytime anyone shows up, I'm like, oh my god, it's like the best thing ever. Like, it's this guy. You know?
Yeah,
it's funny.
and
Because that's what alcohol does. I think
yeah,
it just gives you,
and
it loosens you up.
it's same thing with me, and that's why ever since I quit drinking, I realized that that's not really who I am.
It was
like,
the
oh
alcohol,
my
yeah.
god, like
Right.
now.
So in that way, you relate to them, right?
Yeah,
You're just
now I
like,
relate
you
to them.
feel uncomfortable
Yeah,
in social
now I don't
situations.
feel. Yeah, I don't feel comfortable with people I don't know.
Yeah.
And even then, like, I'm not rude or anything.
Right,
I'm not
no,
like,
you're
oh,
not.
fuck you or whatever. I'm nice to people.
Mhm.
But like in my mind, like I come off as like, oh, hey, like, what's up? Like I care.
Mhm.
But internally, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, okay, like I have to go through this to be a normal functioning human being.
Unfortunately.
Because you have to be social
Mhm.
in some situations to get shit done.
You have to be. Like,
Yeah,
just
you have to. As
Yeah.
much as you hate it,
Yeah.
you just have to.
Yeah.
And you just get used to it.
You know, the funny thing about me is I feel like I generally like people, but people I work with or that I know.
Yeah, yeah.
Or people that I've talked to before, but they're distant. I haven't seen them for a while. But new people, I'm just like flat, I guess.
Same.
I don't care to know them or not know them. They're just there. And I'm nice. I'm polite. But I forget them the next day because that's just who I am now. As an adult especially. It's just, not that it's easy to forget people. But if they don't leave an impression, I don't worry
But
about it.
don't people irritate you more now? For me, they do.
Oh yeah, some people for sure like irk me off. And see, like now when they irk me, now I just leave or just cut
Yeah,
it short.
like-
Whereas before I was like, all right, I'll listen to this guy. But now I'm just like, oh, sorry, bro, I don't have time. Like actually, very recently, I was working, right? And I was in a rush. And this kid comes up to me, you know, youth camp or whatever. He's like, oh, sir, can I bother you really quick? I need to tell you about some donations I'm gathering for my youth group. Would you have a quick minute to, you know, listen to my pitch or whatever? And I'm like, oh, you know what, dude, I have to go. I only have like 2 minutes to go. He's like, really? It was just actually 10 seconds. That's all I need of your time. I'm like, dude, honestly, I don't have time. Sorry. Just walked away.
Yeah, dude.
Whereas
And you
before I
have
would have been like,
Yeah,
okay,
you
yeah,
would
sure. But now I'm
say-
just like, no. And then also at a Panda Express drive-thru like a month ago, this girl, which I didn't even know Dare was around. Remember Dare? The anti-drug
Yeah.
program in school? They're still around and asking for donations.
Really?
This girl,
Oh
I
my
was in the
God.
Panda line for 10 minutes. She followed me for 3 out of those 10 minutes.
Oh my
Giving me her
God.
pitch and stuff. And I'm like, I'm not going to donate, but hey, I have nothing else better to do. Sure, I'll listen to your pitch. At the end of the pitch, she's like, yeah, so if you could donate $25, maybe even $50, we'd really appreciate it. I'm like, 25? Fuck, get the fuck out of here with that. $25
They're
to
gonna
an
legalize
organization I
this shit
thought.
soon.
Yeah, and I'm like, $25 to an organization that A, I thought was dead, and B, I don't know what
It
the fuck
hasn't
it does
done
anymore.
shit.
Yeah, and
It
I'm like,
doesn't
what
do
the fuck?
shit.
And see, I
If
said-
anything, there's more drug.
yeah,
addicts,
but see,
whatever.
that brings back my point. I flat out said, you know what? Sorry, no, I can't donate that right now. She's like, well, any amount will do. And I'm like, I have nothing right now. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, she gave me this whole pitch, and I'm like, I'll listen to it, but I didn't ask for it. So that's my thing now. I'm just like, well, go for it. Like, if I come off as a dick, I don't mean it.
No,
but I'm
yeah,
just
see,
I'm just
and-
saying. It's just my honest opinion. I'm like, I don't have time.
Yeah.
It's like,
And
yeah.
I guess that's why I just, in general,
Mm-hmm.
people are okay, but they just irritate or annoy me. And
We have a very black metal attitude. We should each start our one metal band. One man metal band.
Right. Oh my god, I should do the shrieks.
That'd be fucking hilarious. Oh my god. Just laugh the entire time on the track. See, there you go. That's vocal one.
Oh my god. That's a good one. But dude, and that's why I've been so tempted, and that's why I'm addicted to social media. But now I'm starting to not like it more and more. Like every time I go on Instagram, it pisses me off.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Just because people are I don't even know why I follow all these people.
Unfollow them. That's what I did.
But it's hard for me because I'm so used to seeing
Well,
their
you need
shit.
to
That's why I have an issue. Like
Yeah.
I'm addicted, but I hate it. Like it's
Honestly, you need to pull the trigger. It's like a pull the trigger
I
situation.
do.
Because that's what I did. I used to feel like, but I'll probably like their posts later on. Until one day I'm just like, nope, I never see your shit. Boop, unfollow. I unfollowed like maybe I want to say 430 accounts.
See, and then
in
like
the last 6 months.
I want
Because I
to.
just never look at them. But it's mostly celebrities and shit like that.
See, and that's what I try to do. I'm like, I want to so
But you
bad.
regret it, right?
But in the back of my head's like, no, don't do it because what if?
FOMO.
Yeah.
Fear of missing out.
Yeah, like what if da da da, and I'm just like,
It's FOMO.
oh my god, and
Yeah.
that's why I just want to delete it overall, cause
You don't delete it overall, but I'm telling you.
or like just I just need
Small steps. Just
yeah.
delete people at a time. Like maybe 5 accounts at a time.
People are just annoying.
You know what? Weirdly enough, for me, I can't stand kids.
For real?
Certain kids are super cool. Like the kids who aren't
Que se
they're
portan
just
bien.
normal, who are just regular little human beings. But there's other little kids that are just annoying, dude. And I don't blame them because they're kids. They don't know any better, but because maybe they just don't have direction, or maybe they're just not, getting disciplined right. I don't know. But there's some kids who are just like, God, they're annoying.
No,
But,
yeah, I get you. I don't
I'm
know.
not a kid person
Like-
necessarily, but like I will like kids are kids. So I understand that, but I'm just like, yeah.
I don't know, and then it's just
But if you guys had kids, I'd like them. You know what I'm saying?
it's
I'm
not
biased.
gonna happen.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't even want kids either.
I'm saying, like,
see?
if anyone in the group had kids,
I
I'd be like,
don't.
okay,
Yeah, I don't
cool.
even have patience for kids of my own. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't.
Well, you kind of have a kid now.
Yeah, my puppy,
Yeah,
my
Billy
baby.
recently got a puppy.
A pug
Her
puppy.
name's, a little pug called Frankie.
No, Babu. No, Babu.
Babu
Babu.
Yeah.
Babu.
Named Bobby.
Yeah.
Dang it, Bobby.